Wow, you guys, was that not the cutest bookstore you have ever seen? It was so aesthetically pleasing. I could have spent hours and hours there and just spent my whole day wandering every single floor. There's like 5 floors. The children's floor was so cute with a little train. I can't wait to take my son there. I think he's gonna lose his mind. It was just so cute. So expect to see that bookstore in quite a few vlogs. I'll be visiting it quite often. But for now, I wanted to show you a couple of books that I got from there, and then a couple I'd ordered from online as well. So I thought I would just combine it into one haul and show you the books that I've purchased recently. So there are about 9 books in this stack all together, and they're all romances, which is so ironic because actually this week I've been reading a lot of fantasy, but I'll talk about that in my vlog that's coming up. But these are all romances. In the spirit of being in February in the month of love, I thought I would get a couple just to keep me going over the course of the next couple of months. So let's get into it. The first one I have here is Tessa Bailey's Secretly Yours. This one is really anticipated by a lot of people, including myself. I love Tessa Bailey's books. The last 2 I read, It Happened One Summer and then Hook, Line, and Sinker, just had me in a chokehold. I loved them so much, so cute. A great combination of some spice, but also some fun, very rom-com with a little bit of depth, like just a good combo. I like her writing a lot. I think this one is childhood friends to lovers. I know that she is hired to work on some gardening at his family's estate, and he's very grumpy, she's very sunshine. It sounds like very Tessa Bailey, and I can't wait to read this one. The next one I have here is called Radiant Sin. This is the 4th book in the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert. I have read the first 2 in this series, and I still have to read the 3rd one, which I think is called Wicked Beauty. The first one is Neon Gods, and then there's Electric Idol, and those 2 were amazing. I love them so much. So they are kind of like the Greek retellings, but in a modern way. The city Olympus is set in our modern times, and some of the conflict they have is very modern as well. And I just love the way that she's combined those 2 worlds together, and they're also a little spicy, which I really like, just to keep things a little interesting. So I'm excited about this one. First, I'm going to read Wicked Beauty, which is the 3rd one, and then get to this one. The next one, or actually 2, are by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The first one is Forever Interrupted, and the other one's After I Do. So I've been going back and reading some of Taylor Jenkins Reid's backlist items just because I loved some of her books that I'd read recently. So I'm like, okay, let me make my way backwards. And recently I read Maybe in Another Life, which I didn't love, but One True Loves made my favorites list last year. So I think I'm still gonna give her another chance and keep reading through some of her backlist items. These 2 are supposed to be love stories as well, but very different in their own ways. So After I Do is about a couple that gets married, and then they decide that after they're married, because they've been together for so long, they want to take a little bit of a break. I think they take like a year off just to see, you know, what life is like without each other, and if they can survive, and if they really want to be together, and if monogamy is really for them. So it's really the story of them exploring what happens in that year off, and they can't contact each other. So I think that'll be a really interesting book, an interesting experiment in marriage. And then Forever Interrupted, this one I think is a little bit more tragic. So it's about 2 people who meet and fall in love instantly, and then a couple of days after they're married, I think he dies, which is not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book, but he dies. And then it talks about the girl Elsie who meets Susan, her mother-in-law, for the first time, and just how they work through their grief of losing their son and their husband. So I think this one's going to be a little bit more emotional, and something that Taylor Jenkins Reid does really well is write really complex characters who are faced with these really kind of gripping life decisions and working through heartache and some real tragedy. So I'm excited to read that one. So I think these 2 are going to be really good. I'm hoping, at least I hope they're more along the lines of, you know, 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, Daisy Jones and the Sick, you know, One True Loves, and just keeping in Taylor Jenkins Reid's style, and I'm really excited about these. The next one I have here is no surprise to anyone in the romance community. It's called Final Offer by Lauren Asher. This is, of course, the 3rd book in the Dreamland Billionaire series. This is the last brother. This is Cal and Alana's story. I know this has been everyone's favorite so far, so I'm really excited to get to this one. Fine Print, which is the first one, I really like that one. That one really had me. And then the second one, I was kind of okay, kind of iffy on. Like, Declan's story wasn't that interesting to me. I did like, you know, some of the like plot points and how they came together and that whole fake marriage aspect of it, but the rest of the book kind of fell flat for me. So I'm hoping this one can redeem the series and bring it back up and end on a high note. And I think I have high hopes for it because everyone's been saying great things. So I am excited to read about Cal and Alana. The next book I have here is called Prince of Song and Sea by Lindsay Miller. My 8-year-old self is swooning. I loved Prince Eric. I love The Little Mermaid. I cannot wait to read from his perspective. So this one tells about his story and a little bit of his history, more so than what we've gotten in The Little Mermaid. It tells about the curse that's placed on him and him finding his true love. And I think it even has a little bit of like his mom in here, which is interesting because in a lot of Disney stories, as we know, the moms are not present. So I'm interested to see that as well. But oh my goodness, I cannot wait for this one. And then the last 3 books I have here all go in a series together. They're by Kim Holden. I have Brightside, I have Gus, and then we have Franco. So I think these are all in one series about the same characters, and I've been putting off reading these because I know that they are super emotional. People have said it's really made them cry and really taken them really far with the emotions, and I've been reading a lot of kind of fluffy romances recently, so I'm excited to get to something a little bit deeper. I don't know a ton besides the fact that our main character is really sunshine and happy, and she's, you know, been through a lot of tragedies, but she still tries to stay positive. And then she moves away to college and meets somebody who has a dark history as well, who's also been through a number of tragedies, and they both have some secrets that they're not telling each other. And apparently once those secrets are revealed, it could really shake up their worlds. I'm really excited to read these. I think these editions are so beautiful. The pastel colors are just so stunning, and I can't wait to read them. So those are the 9 books I have in this little mini haul. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me today to the cutest little bookstore. Expect to see that in a number of different vlogs because I absolutely will be revisiting, and maybe next time I'll even grab a little bite at the cute little cafe. It was like a little fairy garden. I just got a little video that I showed you, and I just can't wait to sit down and grab a book and have a snack next time. Thank you for coming along with me today. Comment down below if you have any of these books or anything else on your romance TBR for the month. I'm always looking for some recommendations and inspirations, and hopefully you'll also be reading alongside with me with some of these that I showed you today. But thanks again, and I will catch you next time.